Nancy, please come up and say a word. And thereafter, I'll be requesting the control of budget to say a word, and the chairperson who manages what we get at the end of the day, Chair Lynn Mengich. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, Your Excellency, Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, the speakers of the two houses, I think my employers, by extension, who have been mandated to work with me by the people of Kenya, and Honorable Kingi, chairs of commissions, holders of independent offices, CEOs and commissioners, and my deputies. You have not been forgotten. They are not referred to as commissioners, they are deputy auditor generals. I thank you for this opportunity that you've given me. I also wish to thank you, Your Excellency, for inviting me to the cabinet retreat in Nanyuki, where I did represent the CCIOs and myself as the Auditor General on issues we'd want your leadership to look at moving forward to get us, Your Excellency, out of the loop of perennial wastage of resources, reallocations, misallocations, and lack of effectiveness in the use of the resources that this country generates through revenue raising. It has already been indicated by the chair and the vice chair that our role, and I want to emphasize this, Your Excellency, is that of collaboration, is that of working together, and is not adversarial. There are pockets of wastage that we raise through the reports. There are issues that require implementation, Your Excellency, so that this country can move forward. Indeed, we were discussing today with the Controller of Budget and the Honorable the Attorney General that if we concentrated, and this is to the speakers, if we concentrated first on the reports of the Controller of Budget, on how budget is implemented, then down the river or down the road, we would not be having all these headlines that seem to indicate that this country is not developing or that this country is not getting out of wastage, corruption, and other misallocations of resources. I wouldn't say much, Your Excellency, now, but the issues we need to look at is pending bills, and I did emphasize on this in Nanyuki, that when we are talking of building the bottom up in terms of businesses, then we are also sabotaging the very same businesses by not paying for the supplies they've given government or the work that they've done for the government. The issue of lack of accountability for the resources is very critical, that every one of the people you have delegated to assist you in delivering on the mandate and on the needs of the Kenyan people must be accountable for what they are given. And if they're accountable, Your Excellency, then you're able and your team is able to build trust in your government. When we issue the reports that we do as constitutional commissions and independent offices, and it's all, if I may say, doom and gloom, then you lose, as a government, trust of the people, which is very, very important, because there's nowhere else that the counties or the country or the Kenyans will go to except to this country. We are here to support you. I want to reiterate again, we are your advisors. Even as your CSs and PSs employ other advisors, they must know that we are the front line and we can guide them, we can discuss with them we can consult with them to improve on accountability. Your Excellency, I would want just to speak about how we manage our financial year. That is a public financial management cycle. I have reiterated this before, that we must follow the Constitution and we must follow the law. The Constitution speaks to 12 months in a year, which is a financial year. But Your Excellency, we have created a 13th month, and in that 13th month, there's a lot of wastage of resources, as your accounting officers whom you've appointed struggle to absorb funds in May, June, and unfortunately in July, funds that they should not be receiving in July. And that creates the loopholes, Your Excellency, for wastage, reallocation, misallocation, illegalities, and irregularities. The CS National Treasury needs to address this, and Your Excellency, this can be done as a directive or as an amendment to the Public Finance Management Act, including instituting accrual accounting so that your PSs don't struggle as other PSs have struggled before to absorb funds at the last quarter of the financial year. There are many other issues that we'll discuss when we have a meeting with the PSs under the guidance of the Vice President and the Head of Public Service. I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Nancy, for the words of wisdom and the way forward in budget. I'll request my sister, the Controller of Budget, kindly come over.
Your Excellency, forgive me if I miss out some of these protocols. Your Excellency, Deputy President, Your Excellency, Cabinet Secretaries and the Speakers and the Attorney General, all protocols observed. Talking of ambush, I would like to thank the Vice Chair of the CCIOs for successfully ambushing me. And what I would like to do here is just to share a story that I learned when I was a little girl. And this story was given to me by my mother. Once upon a time, there was this young man who was sentenced to die in a court. And before he was to hang, he just made one request. And he said, please allow me to talk, to whisper something to my mother. And his mother was called. She was actually in court. And when she came, they thought the young man was going to whisper something in his ear. But what happened is that this young man beat the ear of the mother completely and spat it out. And when he did that, everybody was in shock. The judge just asked him to explain what was happening. And he said, Judge, my mother never warned me when I was young. I used to bring things that were stolen, and she used to congratulate me. She used to tell me, good boy. And I used to go out and steal some more. And the things became bigger and bigger by the day. So what's the moral of this story? That when we are implementing our budgets, there are certain malpractices that have crept in. And indeed, that the spirit of the Constitution in creating the Office of the Controller of Budget was for the government to hear about the malpractices early enough so that corrective action could be taken. The Controller of Budget's office is that office that sees these things when they are still young, like the young boy. But what have we been doing? Have we been encouraging the young boy to steal some more? Your Excellency, mine is to seek support. As you saw today, when I introduced myself, I was all alone. And that's how I work. I have only one deputy and a very lean staff. When you hear the counties complaining that their requisitions have delayed, it is because we are very lean on the ground. Please support this office. Give us staff and give us resources. And just like the Auditor General said, we will see these things when they are young and we can nip them in the bud. We can stop the Auditor General writing pages and pages of audit queries, which, even if we wanted to address, they are really just too many. Every day you see them and you say, what shall we do to this country? And addressing the issue of budgets, let us budget carefully. Chairs of commissions, please advise those that you oversight to be serious about the budgeting. Let's not just make wish lists which we know cannot work. And at this time, when we are in a very tight spot financially, because of what we have done before, let us use every cent carefully, prudently, to achieve that that we have intended to achieve. With those few remarks, Your Excellency, I wish to just congratulate those who are leaving office and also encourage those who are still in office to emulate all those good things that those who are leaving have done, so that come the day when we are transitioning, everybody will clap that we have done a good job. Thank you very much and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Controller of Budget. As I continue to request the chairs to speak, I know questions will be around gender balance. You'll find, Your Excellency, there are quite a number of strong women running these commissions, and we thank you for finding it fit, because you're a believer of the women's space. Thank you, Your Excellency. I'll now request our sister, Lynn, to kindly come over.
Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Your Excellencies, the Speakers of both Houses of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Because we have been ambushed, I'll make very quick remarks. The first one for me is to do with wage bill. You're all aware that this commission looks after the total wage bill for the public sector. Today, as we speak, that wage bill consumes more than 50%. It's actually 51% of the total revenue. As a country, if we are spending 51% of our revenue on wage bill, it begs the question as to what remains for development and service delivery. Indeed, where we are at the moment is a space where we have overshot the targets that are known internationally. According to World Bank and a lot of other studies, a country such as Kenya should not be spending more than 35% of the wage bill, of revenue on wage bill. And this is enshrined in the Public Finance Management Act, which stipulates that not more than 35% of revenue should be spent on the wage bill. Your Excellency, because of the situation where we are, it poses two challenges that I would like to talk about today and to make a request. The first one is to get out of this situation, the answer will come from increasing productivity. As a country, we are not doing very well. Internationally, we are not ranking well. In Africa, we are not ranking very well as well. So our productivity as a nation can be much, much better. Kenya, we know, has very good talent, it's got potential, and we can improve our productivity. Your Excellency, as a commission, we have reflected on this quite a lot, and we know that we can be better if we improve productivity. Our public sector can be more productive than where we are today. And Your Excellency, we would really like to request that productivity indeed be enshrined in what we do in the public sector and through the Office of the Deputy President for us to look at this agenda more closely. We do have the National Productivity Center in this country. It has been here with us for more than 20 years, but I can say that there is not much we have achieved through that center. But it has a lot of potential, and we can do much, much more. So let me make a request through the Office of the Deputy President that this productivity agenda be brought on the table, it be discussed as a commission and a number of the other commissions, especially in the PFM institutions. We are ready to work with government to address this issue, which will solve the issue of increasing the revenue in the country. The second challenge that we have, which affects service delivery, is a question of efficient and prudent utilization of resources. My previous speakers, the two chairs, have talked about wastage of resources. But if we look at the wage bill itself, it's not just about the absolute basic salary that is an issue, but we've got a lot of wastage when we talk about allowances, when we talk about benefits. There is a lot of wastage. And if you look at the amount of money that goes into allowances, in some institutions, it is more than 300% of the basic salary. So there is room for this country to be more efficient and reduce wastage by just addressing the various allowances that we have as a country. As I speak on the second issue, which is about accountability for resources, which again the previous speakers have talked about, we've got many reports from the Controller of Budget that are released every quarter. It points out where the leakage is, even in terms of remuneration and benefits. But implementation is a challenge. And as we look at this, Your Excellency, when you look at what it does at the county level, it means that very little money goes into service delivery and development. The Controller of Budget's reports indicates that for a number of counties, up to 65% of their revenue is spent on the wage bill. And hence, it's not surprising that we still, as a country, especially if you look at the ASAL areas, we're still at the point of food relief. We should not be there as a country. And we must, therefore, as I conclude, pay a lot of attention on how resources are utilized at the county level so that we can release more money for service delivery and for development at that level. So thank you, Your Excellency. As I make my last remark is, as a commission and all independent offices, we are ready to work with your administration in a collaborative manner so that we can discharge our mandate, which is really about delivering services to the citizens of this country. Thank you.